In this section of the instructions for your training, I will attempt to briefly explain the rationale or the reasons for which we use mindfulness training. It is about how we process information in daily life and how we can alter the process of this information rather than attempting to alter the content of the information. In daily life, situations keep arising. They keep on arising internally or externally. Internally, I may feel heaviness in my stomach, perhaps I ate too much. Externally, it may be raining. How do I know that? My senses enable me to know that. If it's raining, well, certainly I can hear it, perhaps I can see it, touch it, smell it. If it is internal, well, I feel the heaviness, which is called interoception, feeling internally something is happening. This component of the way we process information is called sensory perception. As soon as I sense that a situation has arisen, very rapidly, in a matter of few milliseconds, it is evaluated by my brain so that I can make sense of the world, recognize things in the world. It is compartmentalized. It is categorized. Rain becomes rain, not just water falling from the sky. But we also judge the situation. As soon as it is categorized, it is not just rain, it is, oh no, this is terrible. The rain has arrived and I won't have my barbecue with my friends this afternoon. See now the difference between that interpretation and someone who is a farmer in a dry land. The rain arises, it is perceived, categorized as rain, and straightaway judged as a blessing. This is rain, wonderful for my land. The same situation for the two different people will produce very different experiences, the first sign of which occurs within the body. If one is untrained, often these experiences in the body are not known. They are not perceived, therefore not appraised and dealt with, not taken into account. When one's training enables the ability to feel body sensations, even subtle ones, then as soon as I say, this is terrible rain, then I may feel unpleasant sensations in my stomach, throat, perhaps heat in the cheeks, tension in the shoulders, and I will also be aware that I will react to these and not to the rain. The rain is not an experience for me. My sensations in the body are. Therefore, reaction is always to body sensations, which results from my interpretation of the rain. What produces the reaction is the habit of reacting to body sensations, which are the result of thoughts, judgmental thoughts. Certainly, if I am trained, I will start feeling sensations in my body. If they are pleasant, the tendency of my mind will be to crave for more of these. If they are unpleasant, the tendency of my mind will be to develop aversion, disgust towards these sensations, and I will want to either avoid feeling these sensations, distract my mind, or experience them with different reactive patterns, such as more judgment. If my reaction leads me to feel a little better, either because I had a drink, or I had a smoke, or I forgot about the problem, then I feel a bit relieved. The next time such problem arises, I will use the same method of coping. This is called reinforcement. My behavior will be reinforced. My coping mechanism, however useful or not useful, will be reinforced. In mindfulness training, you learn not to judge and not to react, focusing as much as possible with an objective stance, an objective mind, with the perception, observing what passes by non-judgmentally, from moment to moment, with no reactivity whatsoever towards any parts of the experience, whether the thought or the sensation. By decreasing our overactivity in the judgmental part of the mind and the reactive part of the mind, our nervous system learns to change its pattern. It becomes less judgmental, less reactive, more objective, providing us with more opportunities to cope healthily with life, whatever the problem is. This method is not limited to a diagnosis. People of different faiths have attempted to practice this method in different ways for thousands of years. This is certainly not limited to psychopathology, problems of specific types. Everyone will benefit from decreasing reactivity, decreasing biased judgments, giving new parameters to the nervous system, and more insight and focused attention. In a nutshell, the purpose of practicing mindfulness training is to develop a degree of acceptance towards one's experience, and of course, an equal degree of awareness. When things seem acceptable within, it seems that people find things more acceptable without as well. The world becomes a better place. So let us turn now to the training itself. These exercises require strong commitment on your part. If you decide to give it a real trial, then better commit for at least an entire week to the first set of exercises. If you benefit from these, then again commit for the following set of exercises for an entire week. Without strong commitment, the nervous system will not acquire new parameters on habits that have been there for years, sometimes decades. To change decades of habits, you must give a fair trial with strong commitment to at least a few weeks, starting with the first week. Having discussed the implications with your guide or therapist, make sure you commit thoroughly to the practice, daily practice.